I welcome everyone. We really appreciate you being here with us tonight. And where I know we're going to have a few more people trickling in here, but I would like to start on time. We're going to go with the flow here, and I'm going to teach a class that I have taught in the past. It's a very gentle, very easy class that seems to just, every time I practice it, it really just opens up my heart. And maybe it's part of it is because it is quite simple. And I think simplicity is the name of the game here today. So I'll lead you through the class, and I'll just share thoughts and comments um, that come to me, and then I'll let them come through me. And it's kind of what I do when I'm in this room, and and then we'll just hold this very important idea that we are here to heal. And I think that is, we can ask why and never get an answer. Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to them? It's part of the mystery of the world, and it can be just like time, part of the trap. And so the yoga means to join. And then you say, well, what is it? What are we joining with? Well, in a way, we're gently solving the mystery, or we're looking away from the mystery because there are no answers here to the one answer we share in truth, in spirit, in perfect love. So yoga, if you look back through all the writings, it really is all about joining. It's never been that much about the body. So we can think of the word yoga as joining as something that we seem to need to do, but in reality, it's already happened, which makes yoga a proper noun. It's like saying heaven is now. So we'll play with that idea a little bit here, and I'd like you to begin just lying on your back, stretch yourself out, have your feet towards the wall, and your head will be on the floor, and the bolster will be underneath your knees, crosswise underneath your knees. And it works, yeah, if the thighs are supported a little bit more than the knees, that's nice. And then the heels rest on the floor. They're a little wider than your hips. And then your hands just out about 10 or 12 inches from your hips, palms up. And then lift up a little bit, lift the pelvis and move your low back and belly a little more fully onto the floor. It's a simple, profound adjustment. And then anything else that might help you gently improve the surface area, the contact of the surface area of the back of your body against the floor. Soften your jaw, relax your brow, rest your eyes closed. If possible, your lips together, and you breathe unregulated breathing through the nose. Forget about your breath, and let's remember love. So the helpful question is, what is this for? Now we can drop into real purpose. It's either something that will move us deeper into separation, loneliness, fear, anxiety, depression. Could just be a news event, could be a TV show you watched. What is it for? But guess what? We have the power to repurpose and join. Easy breath in and out of the nose. Relax your body into the floor and let your mind follow. Let your mind rest. What is this shape for? What is this moment for? Above all else, I want to join. Now lift your chin and open your throat as if to look toward the wall behind you. Keep your eyes closed though, and just feel the opening through the front of the throat. And sometimes you might even feel a little stretch down into the upper part of the chest. You can not be aggressive, of course, but inquisitive. Make it an inquiry and open your throat, look toward the wall behind you, and keep that quality. And 1 degree at a time, start to turn your head to the right. Keep looking up. Don't see how much you can turn your head. Don't avoid any little glitch or any little speed bump. Stop at the first bit of resistance. Your shoulders relaxed, your shoulder blades just flattening and releasing onto the floor. As your back relaxes, your front opens. It's all the same. Legs heavy and relaxed. And once you've explored that little bit of resistance, usually found high up in the neck near the base of the skull, you just turn from it once or twice and then rest. Never do we come here to fix. That would imply that something is wrong. Feel the relaxed nature of your belly. Feel the weight of your legs, the way your heels touch the floor. You may notice now how the breathing slows down and starts to feel a little shallow, a little more space between breaths. That is a beautiful thing. Noticing your heavy, relaxed arms and shoulders now, slowly looking up toward the wall behind you a little bit, opening the throat. Now come back to the center. One of the things we're doing here in this simple turn of the neck and head is decoupling the typical movement that gets transferred into the shoulders. And so you look and you feel the weight of your shoulders and you open the throat and you slowly now turn to the left, bit by bit. Open the skin. See if you can stretch the skin a little bit across the front of the throat. Target this blockage that we all tend to have right in the occiput, the back base of the head and skull. If you feel some stiffness, or you feel some resistance, you found it. Give it some time. Keep dropping the shoulders. That's when I use the word drop, it's like turning the light switch off. Turn your arms and your shoulders off. Increase the turn from the point of restriction another degree, and then rest. What is this for? I am here to join. I'm here to unite with my true self, changeless, formless, perfect, and eternal. Four characteristics we'll never find in form. We heal together. Slowly bring your head back to the center. And see if you can interlock your fingers under your head. And if that's too demanding on the shoulders, you just bring them out into a T shape, a little bit higher up than before. Just let your head rest in your hands. That's it. It's not too strong on your shoulders there. Is it not too intense on your shoulder? It's okay. Yeah. Now, without too much detail, turn your head to the right again and let your elbows now relax toward the floor. And so now the shape has, for some of you, is going to have a stretchy quality across the front of the chest. There can be a little pinch in the front part of the shoulder, but anything that is not sustainable, anything about any shape that pushes you out, we have to reduce pressure. We cannot have a conflict and heal simultaneously. So the purpose we give the tragedy is to heal from it or through it, to watch our thoughts and watch the emotions and feelings that the thoughts make. And sometimes the way we respond through actions and the way we, in a way, act out because of those thoughts and feelings. We just look at that and hold it up to the light. Where are the shadows when the light comes? They dissolve. They disappear. It is a formula that has worked for thousands and thousands of years. We cannot bring light into the world, but we can hold the world to the light. We can hold our grievances to the light. And then we start to make progress. Bring your head back to the center and switch the interlock of the fingers. And make a slow turn to the left. Find any resistance. Get to a little bit of a stopping point or a speed bump. With forgiveness as your guide, you increase the turn a little bit. Let the yoga undo, unwind. Little tiny nuances. Nuances in thought, nuances in feelings, nuances in sensation. What purpose do you give them? Bring your head back to the center. And then release your arms gently to your sides. Then you're going to bend your knees and see if you can grab the bolster, lift your hips, and pull the bolster underneath your pelvis. Yeah, crosswise under the pelvis now, not the low back. So, yep, make sure it's just under the pelvis, and that way your low back gets to release and drop toward the floor. Sometimes it'll feel a little more support than that. You can pull it under a little bit more. Yeah, a little more. There. Yeah, sometimes it'll feel like you're slipping off, but bend the knees for now, feet on the floor. And just feel how your belly can hollow a bit. Feel how your low back can drop like a hammock toward the floor. Really relax the belly, relax the rib cage. And interlock your fingers over the right knee and bring it toward the center of your chest. And there's quite a bit of leverage here on the hip. And there's leverage moving your low back more toward the floor. And your arms are strong, so pace yourself. And there is nothing fancy about this practice, certainly not this class. We bring the blockage to the light of your awareness. We spend a little time with it. We let it dissolve. It's like Rumi, one of Rumi's most probably memorized, most famous poems is seek not for love, seek, find, and remove the barriers to love. If love is on the other side of the grieving, or the grievance, or the fear, or the anxiety, or the worry, then it would be a mistake to seek for the love. It'd be like looking for a hat while it's on your head. Let this shape, let this moment bring up whatever might be blocking love's awareness. And maybe right now it's just a sensation in the groin. That's fine too. We'll work on that. the state of mind that matters most. Wholly forgiving. And then the love and the light, the happiness, the joy, the peace just dawns on us. We don't have to go looking. Gently release your knee, your foot to the floor. Go slow. Yeah. And bring the left knee toward the center chest. Different knee, different hip, different story, different history. Different approach. It's the same forgiving mindset. Okay, now bring the right knee in as well. And hold one knee in each hand and have your knees about shoulder width apart. Just let your belly relax. Let your lumbar spine be easy and let it open up toward the floor. And then take hold of the right knee and extend the left leg straight up toward the ceiling. And flex that left ankle and open the sole of the foot. With the bolster under you, it'll feel pretty easy to get the leg fairly perpendicular to the floor and firm the thigh and find your way fully into the left knee and express the left ankle fully. Use those muscles in the shin and the quadricep fully. Maybe you notice a release or a stretchy feeling in the back of the knee and in the calf muscle and the heel tendon, the underside of the toes. Meanwhile, it's just the proper pressure in the right hip and the right knee. There is no accomplishment, no perfecting a shape. We can, however, perfect our experience. That's what we're after. That's the joining of yoga. Quite simply, a happy, peaceful experience. And then switch it out. Bend the left knee in, extend the right leg up. Firm the right thigh and open the back of the right knee and feel the engagement of the shin muscles. Yeah, and the sole of the foot opens and the back of the knee opens up. Come this way. Sometimes you have to lower toward the wall a little bit to safely get into the knee. And the knee has lots of restriction in it. We don't realize it find the angle on your right leg where you decrease the sensation in the hamstring and you increase safely the sensation in the knee and the upper part of the calf muscle. Feel the difference there? Yeah, there. Now it's straight. Up through the heel, down into the hip. Now let's release the left leg up there. Yeah, and you can take hold of the ends of the bolster. We won't be here too long. Make any adjustment on the bolster that you need to. Squeeze your legs, make them strong. Open the soles of the feet toward the ceiling. Your upper body relaxed right along with your mind. You can observe the effort from a place of peace. This way. Now straighten your knees. Yes. And flex your ankles. Yes, that's it. Find your way close into the bones. Squeeze the bones of your legs. With the proper support now, I'd like you to, we'll just have another 20, 30 seconds here. If it gets tiring, then it's over. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. But for a moment now, decrease the effort so much, just enough effort to maintain the shape. See if you can find this place where it almost feels like your legs are, in a way, holding themselves up. They may get a little throbby because, yes, it is a challenge on the circulatory system, a very healthy challenge. Hollow your legs. Just let them drain. Let the feet empty out. You feel a little extra blood flow into the upper part of your chest maybe, and your brain and your neck. Yeah, just be with that sensation. You can linger here a little longer. Some of you might want to, and then when the time is right, you'll bend your knees and take a knee in each hand again. Yeah, it's nice. And then just let your belly soften, let your legs relax. All right, now keep the right knee at your shoulder still and extend the left leg straight out onto the floor. Toward the floor. Is your heel going to rest there? If the heel rests, then your knee is probably going to be bent, and you get this little opening across the front of the left thigh up into the hip. It's kind of like taking a giant step or skipping a couple rungs on a ladder. In that sense, it's very practical. It's practical yoga. Now, activate the left leg and pull the left toes towards you once again and straighten the knee, which means your heel has to come off the mat. Now, with a very straight left knee, that means your muscles in your thigh are fully engaged. You got to be perfectly appropriate on your right knee and your right groin. Give your left leg a little weight. Let it slowly just drop, maybe an inch at the most. Doesn't take much. Just give it a little weight and point your left toes. Open the instep. Now there may be cramping in the sole of the foot. Open the skin across the top. Work and welcome the cramping. Work with and welcome the cramping. And feel this big broad release through the left thigh. And the compression in the knee as you point the toes. And then rest your foot down. And switch your legs out. Bring the left knee in and get just the proper emphasis on the left hip again. You can rest the right heel on the floor a moment. Fairly passive, right? Easy. As we find and dissolve blockages, the yoga gets easier and easier. Unless we keep looking for sensation, unless we get too physically goal-oriented, then it's a never-ending battle. All right, now straighten the right knee, push the right heel away, firm the thigh. The heel comes off the floor. Squeeze the right thigh muscles. Push the heel away. Pull the toes to you. Find your way into your knee and into your ankle. Keep the knee firmly extended and now point the toes. Go slow. There will likely be cramping in the bottom of the foot and the calf muscle. Don't be afraid. Cramp resolution is a pretty healthy thing. Keep the details and give your leg a little weight. Just let it drop a little toward the floor. Yes. Your experience has to be peaceful and confident and safe. Okay, lower your foot to the floor. Release your left leg out. With both legs extended now, make sure the bolster is properly supporting you. If there's any pinch in your low back, then maybe try pushing the bolster away from you a little bit toward your heels. We'll just give a little time here now. See if you can interlock your fingers under your head again or have them out in a T shape. A nice easy turn of your head to the right. Rest in the shape and let the shape passively open the front of your hips and the thigh. Don't get any silly, crazy ideas that you can gain by working through pain. If you have any doubt at all, just get my attention. I'll help you find a confident way to be in the shape. And slowly turn your head through the center. Turn to the second side. Find a little resistance. Meet it without resistance. and join. We join in spirit. To join is to heal. It's to remember love's presence, changeless, formless, perfect and eternal. We can meet each other there. One at a time. Bend your knees up, feet on the floor. Pause. Bring your head back to the center. Your arms at your sides. Have your feet and knees about hip width apart and press into the floor. Lift your hips off the bolster. Keep your hips high and see if you can pull the bolster off to one side. But keep your hips up. Keep them up for a moment. Just keep them up, and we'll just have a little tiny traction on your feet, which is going to engage the hamstrings. So just a tiny bit. There may be a little cramping there, but we value this process of working through cramps in this practice. Now lower a couple inches and move your tailbone toward the ceiling and hollow your belly out. And lower a little bit more. Slowly, bit by bit, see if you can feel yourself lowering from the top of your spine on down, and just take a lot of time and see how much detail you can come back down bit by bit until your low back and tailbone fully rest. And then roll onto one side and push yourself up. Have a seat on your bolster. You can sit on the bolster, face the middle of the room. And we'll put the right leg in front of the left, so the shins are crossed. And then another little detail, for those of you new to the practice, the heels are out of way, closer to your knees than in towards your groin. So go ahead and cross them. Yeah, you got it. You must have showed him a few things. All right, so I'll just give you, yeah, there you go, just like that. Yeah, that's it. All right, and then close your eyes. Yeah, that's good. Let your legs relax. Hold yourself up a little less. Let your back, the kidney area especially, drop back toward the wall behind you. Don't be surprised if it brings up a little guilt, because we've been so conditioned to present properly. So let's let that one go too. Give that one away and let yourself really relax and then start to curve forward. You just got through lowering your spine to the bolster or to the floor bit by bit. Now feel your spine curve here bit by bit. There's a whole stack of bones in there that want to articulate and move. You'll feel that, and then you'll feel the hip bone rolling over the head of the femur. You'll feel the resistance in your hip. We'll work with all of that in a very sustainable, confident way. All right, come up a second. All the way up. I'll give you a little adjustment here. Okay, let's move this away from the wall some. There. I'll sit right in the middle of it. Front and back. Okay, now lift your knees. There, now curve. That's it. That'll feel different in the hips. It also gives you more flexion on your spine. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. What are you feeling here in your hamstrings? What about your back? Anything there? Not so much yet. Feel stiffness. How much is this pulling? Okay, now let's see. Go ahead and curve. Yeah, let your head relax. Arms out on the floor. Yeah. There, now. Just spend some time there. Let your spine curve. That's nice. Okay. Raise up slowly. See, the shapes are designed to really find and target the blockages. So the pressure, the sensation you feel, especially if you're new to the practice, might feel a little concerning. Okay. If it's too strong or gets a little too irritating, you can let me know. But for now, let's switch the cross to the legs. Keep that same distance away, heels by the knees. Soften your backside. Yeah, relax all this toward the wall. And that's it. Yeah. And then start the curve. And imagine your tailbone dropping down through the bolster. Let the whole spine have some healthy movement. Feel the compression on your front. Yeah. You feel the release in the space behind your heart, the front of your back. Where's that space? Move a little breath into that space. It comes easy because there's so much compression on the belly. The breath will naturally find its way up all around the heart space. It's the movement. Don't try to make it happen. Allow it to happen. All right, raise up slowly. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. Keep your heels, yet again, a ways away, a couple measured hands away from the bolster. So heel, yeah, but then soles of the feet together. So I'm talking about the distance between the heels and your groin, like this. Yep. And then, that's it. Then curve forward. Yeah, so soles of the feet together. You got it. That's right. Yeah, and then slowly curve. The part of the body that I consider, if you've been in my classes ever, you've heard me talk about the dark side of the moon. That's the area behind your belly button. We just have the hardest time feeling for movement in the low back. And where there's movement, there's health. So what I'd like you to do here is relaxing your arms, let your shoulder blades drop apart and spread apart. Press your feet into the floor a little bit and feel yourself roll back onto the back edge of your sit bones a little bit. So you put your legs to work a little bit, just to press into the floor. You'll feel that transmission of energy through your legs, your knees, your hips, and maybe it highlights a little stiffness in your low back. Welcome that. Heavy head. Let your head drop. Let the neck release on the back. And now using your legs a tiny bit, you can help with your hands and your abs if you need to, but slowly uncoil. Let your legs assist as you come on up. It's good. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. Firm your thighs. Push your heels away. Press your knees toward the floor. Pull the toes toward you. Just like we did earlier on the back, hips on the bolster. Now it's similar, but you're seated. Strong legs. Press the knees toward the floor. Open the feet. Can you keep that? Can you keep all those details? And close your eyes and have no agenda about now curving forward. You got to go slow. You got to be very thoughtful. Keep the effort in your legs. When you get to a little stopping point, you say, okay, what is it that stops me from curving forward more? And then you respect it. And you spend a little time with it and you keep working on the details in your legs. They'll want to turn off. You can rest them a little bit, but then turn them back on. Have no agenda. Don't try to touch your toes. Don't try to bring your head closer. Listen. Strong legs, straight knees. Slowly uncoil. Come on back up. Okay. You change up the shape. You're going to put your bolster lengthwise on your mat, a little bit away from the wall because you're going to sit on the front end of the mat, front end of the bolster, and lie back so your head will be maybe a little bit off of the other end, your spine fully supported. Just have yourself lined up so you have lots of room to extend your legs without bumping into the wall. There you go. Yeah, and it's best if the tailbone is well supported and your head a little less supported. Keep your knees bent, feet on the floor a moment. Let's get it just right. In fact, you can inch back. You can test a little bit. You can, for every little degree or inch or so that you move back, the head is supported less, and the bolster has a little bit more impact on the thoracic part of your spine and the heart and lung space. But let a little be a lot. Never know how long we're going to stay in these shapes, so be sustainable moment by moment. Then open your arms out to a T shape, palms up. Maybe a little less. If it's strong on your shoulder, then it may be down by your sides a little bit. Open your hands, open your palms, open your mind, open your heart. And then see how passive you can allow the shape to be. Let the elbows bend. If necessary, you lower your arms to your sides a bit. Then you can see how you feel in the shape, extending one leg out at a time, mat width apart. Let the feet flop to the sides. See how effortless you can be in the shape. Now, the purpose of a meditation is to let the stuff come up. And here in this practice, we always welcome the thoughts, the emotions, but we really speak to the body. We just want to keep giving the obstacles to peace up to the light. And then every once in a while we go for it. Just let your heart open and join. Now, at any point, if it starts to be uncomfortable on your low back, you'll just bend your knees and have your feet on the floor. I'm going to read a paragraph from A Course in Miracles. It's in the section called The Forgotten Song. Some of you may know it. It's one of the most beautiful paragraphs in the book. And I bet to some degree we're all going to know this place. It says, beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as far as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining, and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity. Nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. Just bathing in that unified light we share in spirit. Slowly turn your head to the right, just little bits at a time. Don't lift the chin too much at all. Just keep letting your heart open. Let your collarbones slide wider. Just easy, easy, easy. There is nowhere this light is not. And then just as easy, make the turn through the center to the second side. No agenda. I only want to know my true self. Whole and happy. Invincible in spirit. And bring your head back to the center. Bend your knees up, have your feet on the floor. Arms at your sides. Carefully, gently roll onto one side, onto the floor. Pull the bolster under your head, or else support your head well with your bottom arm and curl up. Bring your knees in. And then use your hands and push yourself up. Find a super comfortable seated shape. You may sit on the bolster, you may sit against the wall. Good. Comfortably seated. Feel the support of the wall, the floor. Relax your muscles as best you can and feel into the support of your bones. And then let's feel into the support of that endless arc of golden light. If there's anything we're entitled to, it is that. We know worldly entitlements don't get us anywhere. We can join with that perfect love, and then the ego mind may creep in and say, yeah, but what about the others? Let's do it for them. Let's hold that space for all the others. And the many others out there holding the space for us. We heal together. Not in form, but in spirit. Could you imagine what a mess it would be if we went out and tried to recruit people to join? No, we do it together in spirit. As an outer expression of the unified love and light we share. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste. Yeah, so just feel free to linger. You got all the time in the world here. It's just, yeah. And words are not necessary. If you want to just walk out the door and hold the space for all, that's fine. Maybe it's a nod, maybe it's a smile, maybe it's a few words. Marilyn's going to play a little nice vibrational gong for us just to kind of smooth out our closing. So thank you.